Hello and welcome to my very first Stats meta video that I recorded like a week ago. So it's actually not that fresh, but it took me some time to actually find the time to do a voiceover for it. Yeah, because I wanted to add a few notes about my impression of doing a raid like we did here, which is God of Monsters, and how it felt, and yeah, a few other things. So, um, first and foremost, you will see only the ads of the starting area, because going onwards after the first boss, basically the ads are always the same. They feel always the same. So why showing you basically what you then already expect to what the perception will be. So also should be noted the whole thing took us around an hour, but on top of that we wiped once on the first and once on the second boss, which has different reasons for it. Um, yeah, let's actually quickly go over here what I'm doing. I picked the electricity as healer over sorcery because Jaroth is using sorcery here, and I wanted to have it mixed to get a mixed feeling of how both current available healer power sets are performing in combat in a raid like God of Monsters. Remember, this is just normal. This is not elite. I don't know, Elite, you will definitely need better gear than we did here. You see people have entrance gear part-wise. Some people are around the recommended CR, and you get a good expectation of what it would feel like if you would have just if Amazon Fury 3 would have just come out. To be fair, it is much more doable at entry CR than what is the CR scaling version provides, but then again, CR scaling, Amazon Fury Part 3 has such a wide range of CR. Entry CR is at 166 and it goes up to 190. Yeah, we are talking about a CR spectrum that is 24 CR. So, and that's a lot. As is really a lot of CR to cover, and we know CR scaling is already so bad. You can feel it in survival mode. That's even a much wider range than an entire survival mode is covering, with 20 rounds and around 20 CR, sometimes one two more, but 24 no way. Yeah, that's it. I also used electrogenesis at the start. Please note that I wanted to test something. I would have not used it in normal circumstances because at the end, on the last boss, you will see me using galvanize, and you will understand this galvanize is so much better, and electrogenesis is still a big fail here. Uh, as long as they are not changing it to what I basically praise every time something comes up with electricity on it from web praise, every time electrogenesis has to be applied either on the person with the lowest health, which can be controlled then on a tank, or basically the first in heal range, something like that. But putting it on the lowest health player and on yourself would be the best, because having it just on the closest person is pointless, as electrogenesis does not provide any risk versus reward. This is actually the biggest problem of electricity. Risk versus reward. You have a couple of melee powers like electro burst that hits just in a very small area around you, and then you have stuff like galvanize, which can be actually covered through and healed through the over the NPCs pretty well, and yeah, and electrogenesis, you can't apply that on a tank. The risk versus zero, it takes so low, it's not worth it. And electro burst the same. The healing is so low, it's not worth it, and you being basically stuck with just one loadout. There is no alternativity for electricity right now. There is no options whatsoever. for this power set, and this is the bad part about it. Electricity is really bad performing right now. It gets easily out here by sorcery. Not that I couldn't keep up or something. On the last boss fight, I actually healed a lot better than the sorcery person, but that mostly because of some experience with it that I have from life. That's the whole different thing here. It's not but in a standard scenario, sorcery is better. I can literally see that. Also, sorcery has more variety. Sorcery can be now working easily without a watcher. I actually find it more convenient now to use without a watcher in raid scenarios and a watcher in alert scenarios. Um, Also, the types of healings you have, it feels much better. The Soul Well is really great now. Soul Well is like a slower version of Circle of Protection, but it gives you much more. You can literally stack up to two at the same time, so it heals around the same, but you can spread them more out, create a much bigger healing area with it. And the healing base number seems to be the same of Circle of Protection now, so it's not just a small, tiny hot anymore. And then supercharges, yeah, that's another thing. Electricity has two supercharges, Invigorate and the one that I'm using, Group Transducer. So Group Transducer gives you a shield and it heals once when you get hit by it. And that's what Group Transducer does very well. Considering how fast I recharge my power, my supercharge bar, it is awesome to use. It costs only 50%, so it's perfectly fine. The problem of Invigorate is it's, as far as I know right now, 100%er, which is pretty bad if you ask me. Uh, because it only heals. It gives no real power back. They shafted it away, and the healing is so small. It's actually lower than some heals. So yeah, that's actually really weird why Invigorate has this 100% environment. It shouldn't be really as it is. It should heal for much more. Invigorate should heal for a lot more. It's a supercharge, but it feels like a pretty average power. I don't know why that is the case, but yeah, supercharge wise, you need to use Group Transducer. It is good. It does its job and it prevents the damage before it comes. And overall, over that way, it heals effectively more than what Invigorate can do over the time it takes going off. Um, and in comparison, Sorcery, I mean, you get that bird form thing. I just forgot the name of it, but it gives you some spammy options. You can spam basically then the instant or whatsoever. You just can, if you're low on power, you just pop it, spam some powers in the stance, and have actually good power pool for the time being, and can refresh your power pool out of nowhere. And that's pretty much a go-to thing now, considering controller power back on the group is not that great as it is on live, where you can easily solo troll. I mean, look at the power. It is not great, and it's not because the trolls are shit or something. The troll is doing good. That should be noted. The troll is doing good, but it's what it is. They just can't give more power back because the pot is now passive, and the instant dump is now 6 seconds instead of 3 as it is on live. So yeah, that's pretty much a huge nerf to the power. And the passive pot is really low as well. Anyway, power back also you get from the weapons. So you definitely want to have being able to spam use a weapon, proper weapon. I heard bow is really good for power region now. And some other weapons. I'm not sure. I think two-hander was also mentioned. Don't quote me on that. I used HB because I'm used to it, and I felt like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do some solar flare spamming and feel like a DPS and healer stance. I mean, that's what healing is right now. You are just a DPS with some healing abilities. It's just that sad to say. So that's healing. That was the first boss, by the way. Yeah. So second boss was a bit more tricky because yeah, you will see it. This is the boss fight where I actually cut the part when the Minotaur and the Harpy were left, because the Minotaur Harpy part was so boring. I didn't want it to really show that. I was like, screw that, grab that away and just go quickly what's left over, and then it saved us a lot of minute time. No one wants to see that anyway. The boss fight took boss fights in general here take really long, because the health of these bosses is not right tuned at the moment. And as I have to mention again, everything on test is subject to change, so even though it is right now pretty awkward to DPS those stuff, it's obviously getting changed. Yeah, it will get changed. I'm fairly certain that we'll get it good, pretty neat done. Yeah, so this brings me to tanks. As you can see right now, the atomic tank, we had an atomic tank and an ice tank. Atomic tank here dies pretty often in this fight specifically. Tanking in general feels super squishy. It feels like being a DPS in tank stance and not like a tank in tank stance. You feel really squishy. It doesn't feel like tanking. Tanking is actually as depressing as healing is right now. And I hope this video sheds some light on how tanking feels, how people can see how tanking is right now for both powers that are available. I mean, these tanks do it as they can. They do their best to get through it. Um, yeah, basically that. So this is tanking side already. Feels to me ice tanks do better just because of how they are designed, but I don't know. The whole comboing of atomic, I got told from the atomic tank on the forums. You can read that up in the feedback thread for atomic, that you get often interrupted by the NPCs, and you feel that there is some CC resistance missing now. I don't even know. I think they removed CC resistance, or it's a bug, because that can't be. CC resistance should be completely untouched. We'll see. It should be noted as well, those who don't know, that atomic combos cannot counter or can counter or get countered anymore. Yeah, so that's something also to keep in mind. So it will be like a pre game update 36 pre AM state where you could perform as a celestial combos over and over and over, and the ad could pound on you, but it didn't really interrupt you unless it really made you knock you up or something. Um, yeah. So you see, the struggle is real on this boss fight. The struggle is real. Uh, yeah. I mean, it's just what it is. Uh, I really wonder. I personally have not really went into it with detail. I wonder how Throne is at recommended CR and how Dark Side War Factory is at recommended CR, because those raids were a lot harder. And I suspect these raids are nearly unplayable because of the state of the tanks and the state of the healers. Yeah, I do suspect that this is the case. And then I got caught by the Gorgon Into. I'm barely looking at it. You see my position where I look, it's cheating on me. Anyway, so this is the boss fight still. Yeah, it's this one, and what else can we note? Okay, yeah, I said, electricity has no option, needs more variety, needs more options. They cut ionic drain away. I mean, it's cool that they cut away that stupid cast heal, but sorcery still has invocational renew. It doesn't even needs that. It doesn't even needs that anymore. But I don't know what is going on. Why they keep cast heals in the game? It makes really bad players taking it and thinking it's good, but at the end of the run, it's worse. It's really bad. They need to get away with that. Yeah, so this is that. I mean, it has not much else to add at this point. I wonder what the next powers will be like, what next changes we will see to test. After the live stream, they said they are definitely looking into a few things because it should be apparent that people are really not happy with the cooldown situation. That not only applies for healers, it also applies to a degree to the tanks. Um, because of the pulling, they can't really proper pull multiple ads without actually dying or risking that people dying. Sorry, that was wrong. So basically, if multiple set of ads out of multiple directions are coming and they pull one side, they have to wait 3 seconds to pull the other side. I mean, I see them doing this with two tanks, but let's say they coming from three sides with two tanks. It means still one side is being opened up, and don't have the tank to actually miss one pull, then your team is screwed, kinda. I don't know. The tank pulls should be literally on no cooldown whatsoever. And the healing side, yeah, that is, I said, the instant heal needs to be changed somehow. It's just not working. The instant heal is pretty low. It barely heals, I think, for 1000, barely over 1000. It healed the tanks at this point. I was at around 16k resto, so around life you have 20k. It should be at 2k healing then. But it's still not enough. I mean, these tanks have 30k health. Yeah, the health or something. The stats haven't changed. They have that health, and they need to buff up, like double the healing on the instant heal, because it must make sense to use it. Because right now, as electricity, I can't ditch it due to limitations in the builds. But as sorcery, I would probably ditch it. And as depending on how celestial and nature would look like, I might would have ditched that too. Well, actually, no, you can't, because depending on how they do the pheromone thing, the healing for nature will be that you need that blossom to soak up the pheromones. But I feel that they're going to scrap that. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I have a really bad feeling they're going to scrap that concept. I don't know why they're doing all those concept scrapping. I just don't know. We will see what they're doing. I hope it stays because that's a cool part. Anyway, yeah, it needs to be doubled just to justify the power itself. And I mean, they shouldn't really be limit healing too much, because you are limited in two directions now. You limit by your healing out, what a power can do based on your restorations. That has been nerfed. Then which is coupled with your cooldowns. Usually, the higher the cooldown, the better the healing out is of these powers. So the group wide power, that biocapacitor thing on bottom 5, that here is really really great, but the cooldown is really long, which is okay. It could be a bit shorter, to be fair, but I've seen worse. Um, but yeah, that's one limitation, and the other limitation comes with power. in the controllers have been limited really badly, so you can't spam infinite. At one point, you will have no power left whatsoever, especially with those instant heal. So it doesn't take up so much power, but it shouldn't be like it. You have to spam it like crazy to achieve a result of it. So a result of it. So it should be something done for it. I don't really like it. So and yeah, it needs to be doubled. The base number needs to be doubled, and just have it cost slightly more power. That's fine, but give us an option to have the tank being topped up in emergency situation because it doesn't exist. Um, yeah. So you see me now using Galvanize on button 4. I replace it with Electrogenesis, and boom, there you saw that wave of healing. It is awesome. This is actually your main heal. If you have the group proper set up, it's awesome. And if it doesn't spread out too much, it's a great heal now. It goes for 700 something to 800 like heals at my CK resto, but it can stack depending on how much the wave is going back and forth between the group. So if your group is pulled together, yeah, that thing is going to heal like crazy. It's a pretty good heal. Yeah, it's actually your best heal after all. If it's pretty solid. Yeah, I really like Galvanize in this scenario here. And after I did that, I was regretting. I was actually expecting Galvanize to be way worse than it is right here, than based on what I saw from the other powers. I really expected it to be horrible. So yeah, that's Galvanize gets the other powers, so that covers electricity and sorcery. Um, yeah, that is actually everything so far. If you have questions, put them down in the comments. Yeah, put them down there and I will see if I can answer them. Remember, if you have a PC, it doesn't have to be the newest high-end whatsoever PC. You can have a really shitty 7-year-old PC. I do even played it on my 7-year-old notebook and it was absolutely fine. You can do that. Test it out for yourself, and always remember, giving feedback is more valuable because, in fact, they change from one version to another things, and this is far from the final state. And if you test but don't give any feedback, like I see already a lot of people just being on test but never posting anything. Uh, what's the point being on test? They just, if you do not give feedback, you can't be heard by the developers. So do it. Go test, give appropriate feedback in a constructive manner, and you will be heard. And yeah, that's it for me. The last part of the video, the last few minutes, that is is the boss fight here. I should put out a bit of music, nothing specific, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like, subscribe, whatsoever, comment, and thanks for watching. See you around next time. Bye bye.